What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre-Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2003 movie Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. So in this movie, now a rising young lawyer, Elle Woods, is about to make partner at her firm. But when she finds out her dog's relatives are being used as cosmetic test subjects, she heads to Washington, D.C. to fight for animal rights. So, this is a pretty good movie. This is one of those movies that when I saw it for the first time I thought it was absolutely stupid and everything, and part of that is because I did miss part of it. I think I fell asleep during it, and it was at a very bad time in my life when movies were hit or miss for me all the time. There's a lot of movies that I watched from that time period, and when I watched this one for the first time, everything, there were a lot of movies I watched for the first time at that time that I didn't really enjoy that I enjoy a lot more now, whether it's because I'm older or because it just wasn't a very good time in my life when I was watching it and everything. But this movie I really enjoyed a lot more this time around. I think Reese Witherspoon is once again great as Elle Woods, which that's something I've always said, is she's just perfectly cast in that role and everything. She's really great. The supporting cast are all really good in here, especially Sally Field, who starts out really likable and then she becomes this really unlikable character and everything. So I think they did a good job with her and everything. She really kind of shows her range and everything, showing how she can go from being really likable to unlikable and stuff, but not being so unlikable that you can't stand her either. Like she has a lot of depth and personality to her. Trying to save the animals from the science testing and cosmetics testing and stuff is actually a good route to take the movie. It makes her case easy to support and everything, because who doesn't want to support someone trying to save a bunch of animals and stuff? It just works good. And I think the humor in here is still pretty good. It's not as good as it was in the first movie, but it's still pretty good. And the soundtrack is pretty good too. Once again, not as good as the first movie soundtrack, but still pretty good. As far as negatives go, I don't have a lot, but I will say that this movie is a huge step down from the original, and it's not a bad movie by any means, but it doesn't have the same heart as the original movie, and I do feel like they dumbed Elle Woods down a little bit in this movie and made her a little bit dumber. She's still pretty smart, but she also is a little bit more of a dingy blonde in this movie, which I didn't like because they fought so hard to get past those stereotypes in the first movie and stuff. But I think that it works for the most part, and is also, I do feel like Luke Wilson and Jennifer Coolidge could have been in the movie a lot more. They neither one were in this one near as much as they were. Well, Luke Wilson I think might have been in it a little bit more than he was in the first one, but Jennifer Coolidge I feel like wasn't in it near as much as she was the first. And I felt like they could have just done a little bit better this time around with them and everything. I hope if we do get Legally Blonde 3, they are much bigger roles if they're in it. But aside from that, I don't really have any complaints. This is a pretty solid sequel and everything. It's one of those that I feel like has really redeemed itself on rewatch. I really like it a lot more than I did the first time and everything. And it's a really entertaining movie and everything. Not quite as good as the first though, so I'm gonna say I give Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde a 7 out of 10. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day everybody.